Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. All right, so I've got the Page of Cups and the Six of Swords. And with that, I'm hearing, I'm sorry I walked away. So this person that's coming through, I feel like walked away from you and your situation and possibly even a conversation here. Like they could have got up and like walked away mid-conversation, or this could have been over text where this person just like left you on read. I do feel like this person had certain things that they wanted to say, or you did. I'm feeling a sensation in the back of my throat right now. But I think instead this person walked away, and they walked away from some kind of turmoil or turbulence. And you may have been aware of this because it could have been a situation like that you were dealing with that brought up some kind of emotional turmoil or cognitive dissonance in this person. It could have been a situation that y'all were dealing with together, or it could have been some emotional situation inside of this person. I definitely think there was some kind of emotional turbulence inside of this person that you may have known about or you may not have known about. And I'm saying that because I don't think this person brought it up in the conversation. Maybe it was a part of the conversation like at a certain time where this person needed to bring it up. Like, and that's, I'm kind of getting like an overwhelm, and this person just kind of cutting off and walking away. And then that kind of creating its own momentum. Not that I'm making an excuse for this person, but that's why I'm saying I'm not sure if you knew about this inner turmoil. Obviously, this person just like maybe ghosted or like dipped or just like up and left. So you might have your suspicions about this, or you may have just been left thinking that this person was like maybe a liar or just like holding some kind of deception. But I feel like what went on here with this person walking away, that was a very unexpected outcome for you because of this Page of Cups energy. That was the energy that I feel like this person was in. So with this being a page, this could have been like a new situation. There wasn't maybe a lot, but like that had been built up between the two of you, but it was emotional. Even if this person, if this wasn't like a purely new situation, this could have been a situation where this person was coming back in order to maybe apologize for something that they did or said in the past. But it's this kind of like new energy. But the energy that this person was in was nice, and it was approachable, and it was pleasant, and it was emotional, but not overly emotional. And it just felt open and like kinetic in some kind of way. And I feel like all the signals were there, and you had every right and reason to expect reciprocity from this person, from a relationship with this person, in a situation, and certainly in a conversation with this person. So when they just walked away or left you unread or just kind of like left things here, I feel like that was really unexpected for you. And I think that with the Death card being here as well at the bottom of the deck, I feel that it's water energy as well, right? It's Scorpio, it's deep water. So that's kind of at a contrast here with like the Page of Cups. And I feel like this energy is kind of underneath the surface of this situation, because I do have a past life card here. Previous connections, unexplained familiarity, soul memories, I've known you before. So I feel like this apology is kind of like, I have played out this pattern before, or I'm sorry, like it's a deeper I'm sorry, it's I'm sorry I always do this to you. I'm sorry I'm a flake. I'm sorry I'm, like a promise breaker, or something here like that. So it could be that this brought up an enormous amount of emotions in you and you didn't even know where it came from. And I think for a lot of you, maybe it comes from this person connected to a past life, or it just picks up on some kind of deeper pattern here. And so emotions kind of started to churn. And I think this is actually true for both of you. And I think maybe this person is wanting to admit this now, even just coming through in a tarot reading. And you, of course, have free reign to feel whatever way you feel about that. With the Death card here, again, it might be like enormous emotion, like, okay, coward, like you're going to walk away from me and allow this to come through like in a tarot reading. But I feel like that's kind of the vibe here, where you didn't get what you needed and were expecting from this person. But I think they're coming through to say that they have also had some kind of unexpected outcome here in this situation. And it could have been like in this conversation or whatever situation was going on here, because again, this person was trying to kind of move away from turmoil. So it could have shocked them or surprised them that they felt so much turmoil to do with you and your situation, especially like in this Page of Cups energy where things had kind of just started. Like I said, I feel like there's stuff here. There's like stuff here, from your childhood, from like deep emotional patterns that both of you have are being released here. I feel like in your interaction in this life, but also if you believe in past lives, I feel like there's definitely that kind of energetic signature. But I think part of the unexpected outcome for this person and why they're coming through now, and I don't know how, like the time frame of this chain of events, like how recent it was that this person walked away. But I feel like this person has not been able to forget you, and they haven't been able to outrun this emotional turmoil. And so I think part of their own unexpected outcome, has to do with whatever situation they found themselves in, which we'll kind of talk about. But also I think it's unexpected for this person that they actually want reciprocity from you. They want it in this conversation, which might seem very unfair because this person sort of like left you in the lurch to deal with all of these emotions and to draw whatever conclusions like you drew from this without their input, which is probably, okay, this person is a liar. They don't care about me, or, whatever. But now they actually want reciprocity. And I feel like they actually want like a reciprocal relationship. It could be that there's some kind of opposites attract energy that's coming through here. And I also think something unexpected for this person is that in some way, from some design of fate, I feel like this person has been made to understand your side of the story. They've maybe lived some kind of experience or something here. And that might have to do with a situation that they kind of got themselves in. So this person is full of regrets. They feel like you guys have unfinished business in this situation. It says, we still have things we need to resolve and discuss. And then I just looked up at this past lives card again. And in this past lives card, there's a person that's like looking at two Polaroids, and one is kind of like black and white and faded, and the other is like in color. And also like one is like youthful, where you can tell it's kind of like a younger couple, like the guy's wearing a backwards baseball cap. But then in the other picture, it's like he's got his hair slicked back, he's wearing a suit, she's wearing pearls, and like earrings. Could be like mother and father, or it could just be hearkening to like maybe a much earlier time, like maybe you're in a different phase of life or something here now, and it's something here to do with this like past life energy. And I've got a card here that says indecisive. I know my inability to make a decision hurts you. And then I've got a card here that says detached. I had to let this go so I could clear my mind. I'm not sure how real or true that is. I kind of feel like this person, I think that they kind of expected to cut off from this situation. They thought, okay, well, this is small. It's the Page of Cups because, okay, well, we're just at the beginning of this relationship, or, I kind of think for some of you, something happened already in this relationship, or maybe even like in the past, and there was a plan to like, to not have this die, and like to come back and to start over. But again, it's the death card, right? Like, so not to have this like fully go dead, but it's this scorpionic energy where there's a bunch of emotion. But Scorpio for me, a lot of times is like that stagnant water. It's like deep, still water. And so it's kind of like, okay, well, there's a lot of depth there, but we're just going to leave it alone. And then we're going to come back and be in the Page of Cups energy and kind of start over like nothing happened. I can't stand that. And that would be very triggering for me. So I feel like for some of you, that would be very triggering for you. And again, I'm feeling like this sensation in my throat. So like there's, like the way that this person is talking, or the way that, and maybe some of you felt like you played along here. I think that you probably have very good manners. So if this was a situation where this person came back to apologize, or maybe that's where the situation sits, they've already done something and right now they're thinking about, or they're contemplating sending you a message in this like Page of Cups energy. And I think some of you would kind of reciprocate that Page of Cups energy just because maybe you're curious as to where this is going, or why this person's reaching out to you. You're curious what they have to say, especially given like what they did in the past. But I think some of you might well be disappointed because I don't know that this person wants to revisit the past. It's like they just kind of want to, start over. So take this however it resonates. But I feel like this person is saying, look, I had to let this go so that I could clear my mind. And then the more time went by, the more overwhelmed they felt. This person's kind of trying to explain something here. Now, this is interesting because right underneath in the past life where the deck that I used that has this past life card in it. Underneath that, we have big break. And I'm kind of feeling like in the past, and that could be in this lifetime, but I think this echoes. I think this echoes from past lives. This person may have gotten a call, some kind of big break, career turning point, major opportunity, life-changing moment. This is it. Maybe that has to do with you. But I think for a lot of you, this went on in the background or something where they got some kind of news, and that was a tower moment for you. And that's maybe why this person left. And it could be, maybe it was a career thing, or something, but then this person didn't communicate that with you or anything like that. But the card underneath that says unbreakable. And I feel like this is you, inner toughness, enduring hardship, strength through adversity, nothing can break me. And then the card beneath that says me versus me, self-competition, personal growth, becoming a better me than yesterday, my only competition. And it's the image here is this like kind of younger man looking in the mirror at himself, like with determination and like toughness. But I feel like this was you and possibly your inner masculine. And masculine energy for me, it's like a doing energy. So I feel like you were like, okay, I have to do something to get myself through this or to kind of get over this, or even if it doesn't have to do with this situation, like I have to pick up the pieces. And I feel like in a past life, this is the pattern here. There's some kind of echo of this pattern of this person just yeeting out the back door suddenly. And that's where I kind of felt triggered where, with this indecisive card, I know my inability to make a decision hurts you because it is not this person's decision. Okay. But they act like it is. And so I kind of think this person maybe is egotistical. They're kind of full of themselves because this is clearly a conversation, which, hello, that involves two people, a relationship, hello, that involves two people. But this person's like, yeah, I couldn't decide. And it's like, you couldn't decide to treat someone fair and equally. Like, I don't know. It just feels like there is a kind of selfishness, but it's coming through in the emotional realm where this person, like, it's almost like the second that their emotions get involved, or the second that their emotions kind of start wobbling, like kind of going back and forth, then this person doesn't know what to do with that. And they are like, okay, what am I going to do about this? And then they kind of stop thinking about the other person that's involved, And I think it's actually a sign of immaturity. Like it might not be that this person's like an outright narc, or an asshole or anything, but this is extremely immature to the point where you'd have to look at it. I mean, this person, and I think that whatever situation they floated off to is a situation that I just heard predicates. It necessitates, it feeds, it perpetuates. This person's immaturity, but I'm throwing out all these words and not all of them feel like they fit exactly right. So it might be a situation that, perpetuates and fluctuates and, all of these big fancy words, like big words are used, but it's immature. It looks maybe mature, but it's immature. And maybe that was unexpected for this person. So what I'm seeing here now, moving down to the next line of the tarot cards that I have out, I've got a lot of wands energy. So 4 of wands and the 6 of wands, which together add up to the 10 of wands, which there's some kind of completion in that. But the wands suit is a suit about perseverance and selfhood and competition. And maybe that's why the water energy weirds this person out, because part of them feels like on a quest in that wands space of like, how do I fight for myself or like my vision, or how do I become successful? How do I defeat the competition? And maybe this person they're trying to make some kind of progress in regards of that. And then that leads to the Justice card though. And, so I feel like that's again, leading this person to some kind of karma. So with the 4 of wands, it could have been that you were married to this person and this person, I don't know, like yeeted out the back door or something here, but I'm mostly getting that for a lot of you, that this was a reconciliation between you and this person, or, again, from something past, and there is like kind of celebration energy here. Or it also could be that this person, there's like actual foundational energy between the two of you, like 4 of wands kind of stuff, which is like kind of a marriage card, but it's happy and it's like kinetic and it's vibrant. But this person broke things off and ended up treating you like a fling, like some kind of schmegdual object or something. And that's not who you are. And that could have broke you. That could have been the thing where it was just this mirror that this person, where you felt this connected energy to, and you felt that you could trust this person, and you felt that things were kind of naturally moving in a certain direction. And so it was under that pretense that you were engaging with this person. And then all of a sudden there was this like breakage, this tower moment. And I feel like it was a tower moment for you, and it hit your shadow space. There's a lot of shadow stuff that's being, like brought up here. And I almost want to say karmic. Like for some of you, this is like your karmic, but I think for a lot of you, maybe this is like soulmate or twin flame, however you resonate with this, where it could be a soulmate connection, but this is such a connection that's bringing up a lot of shadow stuff for both of you. And so that could have been the thing where it's like the way that this person treated you, it broke your brain. And I'm hearing cognitive dissonance. And Richard Grannon, I think, speaks very eloquently about cognitive dissonance, because he talks about it as though, okay, well, yeah, I mean, it's just something that's hard. Like people say that, okay, well, it's just something that's hard for your brain to kind of process, because it's like this splitting energy. But he talks, the way that he describes it is so poetic, and it's like it pulls you apart, and it becomes this thing that is so hard to kind of cope with, and you can't kind of deal with reality. And that's why it's so much a part of abuse or tyrannical behavior. And so I feel like it induced some kind of cognitive dissonance, and the way that you felt about yourself. And it was something about the way that this person did it, like the way that they left was so flippant, or there could have been a third party here, or this person left you for someone else, or left you to chase something else. And I kind of think that it could be that roles got reversed here, where they left you to pursue something that looked really shiny on the outside, but it kind of should have been a fling, or it's very shallow, but this person has a weird thing with emotions. And I'm wondering why this is coming through. If this person, it's funny. They're kind of sitting back when I said that. And I don't know if you've ever had that feeling of just like, when you feel kind of numb, but like when you're scared, how do I describe this? And like, when you feel just scared and frozen, I guess, but rigid at the same time. And also like there's kind of tears pricking behind your eyes, but you're like holding it back. And because of that, there's kind of an anger and a fear, and it's just kind of this whirlwind of emotions, but it's like a freeze, like fight, flight, or freeze, but you're in this kind of like freeze mode. That's kind of what I'm getting, where it's like this person's like, I'm right here on the precipice where I can acknowledge that all these things are happening for me, but I don't want to get in, I sort of want Jess to explain this for me so I don't have to get in, like kind of a thing. And I am kind of being patient with this person, just because I can feel the fear of it. But it's not an excuse to mistreat people. And this person ran right into some kind of karma. So that's kind of the Four of Wands that I was describing here, where the roles may have gotten reversed, and it could have been that this person jumped into some kind of marriage here, and it could have been like very fast. And then, I just looked up to another deck here. Dark deal, wrong decision, incorrect direction. You're telling me, oh, I get it. So it starts off with like this watery energy up here with you, between the two of you, this Page of Cups, and even the Six of Swords has like water in the card, but it's like, oh, there's turbulent water and I'm using air incorrectly to kind of skate above it and to not get in. That's kind of the thing. This person doesn't want to get in. So then that jumps down to this other timeline, or this, and it is lower. Oh my gosh, the way that I have these cards laid out, it's kind of like the base here. And that is a timeline purely of fire, right? So it's short, it's impulse. It is, I just heard the word retribution. It's competition, it's schmegs, and it's the self, and trying to push forward the self. And that is this dark deal. Wrong direction, wrong decision, incorrect direction. And then look, it says unrequited love. Accept the pain, fulfill your needs in other ways. Maybe that was you. You felt that this person had unrequited love. And I don't think they do. I think that this person is scared of love. I think they're scared of emotions. It's kind of like the Wicked Witch of the West. She gets a little water on her and then she just melts. Oh, what a world. Like this person's kind of like that. But there's also like two men talking on this card. So it could have been that they talked to somebody here and that person was like, they must not love you, man. They must not love you. And instead, it's like, I think something here needed to be worked out. And I think you could both sense this death card energy, this scorpionic energy. And I think you were prepared to, and this person is maybe good in conversation, but superficial conversation, keeping it on a shallow kind of level. They're maybe very mercurial, very adept. But when it gets to depth and when it gets to emotion, then this person recoils or freaks out. And so I feel like that's another thing that set you up for disaster, because the mirror that this person's holding back to you, because you're like, here's this person who's really good with communication, and that's just going to be an asset, because then we can talk about our feelings. And this person had a single feeling, sort of, at a light level, and then just freaked out. And just, what am I seeing? It's like from Peter Pan. Somebody gets like bit or something, but then they like end up running across the water. I think that's where I'm seeing that from. I don't know, but I'm just, and they're just like kind of screaming. But also love at first sight and like wooing Yeah, I don't know. So I feel like there was a lot of emotions here, and it spooked this person. I'm not really sure. So anyways, they were chasing some kind of victory here with the Six of Wands. And also there's karma involved in that, because for me, the Six of Wands, which comes out a lot in my readings, is the Saturn in Leo energy. So Saturn is always a marker of some kind of karma that's being worked through. And this path that this person is on feels like a very karmic path. And it's a karmic path where they are on whatever scale, because this doesn't have to be for an arena full of people. This could be on Facebook for all of your friends and family in your town. You know, this person is trying to save face. They're trying to save their reputation, and they're trying to appear victorious. And they felt that if they jumped in and got married with somebody here, or jumped in with a married person, or whatever this Four of Wands energy is, maybe this has something to do with a party or a celebration, or it just looks like their life is a fucking party. You know, it just looks like, freaking MTV from back in the day, like, you know, over and over again. And that means that they won. And it doesn't mean that. And that's very immature. And it's very, I don't know, but that led them to this justice energy. Again, another signifier of karma. But behind this Lady Justice, there's this like sheet, this like red sheet where you can't see what's going on. So I feel like there's a relationship here, and maybe it looks like it's fair or it's equal or something, or there's some kind of situation that looks equitable. That word reciprocity is coming back again. But actually behind the scenes, it's Saturn. So I feel like whoever they got involved with, that this is another person or whatever path, because for some of you, this has to do with career. So they got themselves maybe bound. They got themselves in some kind of contract. They thought that it was going to be the way that they won, but actually they got themselves trapped and tangled because they ran away from their actual path. And their actual path in this life is to explore water. It could be that this person has well and truly explored the wands energy, but they try to make it apply to everything, and it doesn't apply in love. And if you try to apply the wands and the competition and the I'm a jerk, then it's going to get you in a tough situation. And that's exactly what happened. And it's not with you, because I feel like their path was with you, and that was watery energy of like, well, let's wade into this together, okay? Because I feel like this situation, because of something here to do with past lives, or maybe even something in this life that's tough, it feels deep and scary and unchurned for both of you. And so it's kind of like, I'll hold on to the side, and I'll hold on to the side, and I'll hold on to your foot, and then you see if you can reach the bottom and try to pull something up from there. You know what I'm saying? Like work together kind of thing. But instead they're in this kind of karmic situation, and it's showing with the Queen of Wands. So they very well could have had a new beginning with a Queen of Wands, somebody from their past that maybe ran off and married somebody else. I'm not sure. It seemed like they got the roles reversed here. Yeah, reunion and some type of like commitment. Maybe they felt that, oh yeah, this is the big break that I need, to win. And it could be that this person, I don't know, they thought this is going to be the image that I need. Yay. But I feel like they got involved with a fake person here as well. Like, because they were a fake person to you is why I'm saying as well. Convincing lies, altered truths, virtual deception, seeing is no longer believing. And they could have been left hanging here as well. Something could have turned around, or some kind of gossip, or something here is like really played out. And it could be that, and I feel like there is a soul contract here. And I feel like some of you are probably trying to figure out, well, is this a karmic, or how can, like, especially if there's certain messages coming through, because sometimes the messages will be so beautiful and so tender. And I feel like that's here with this person, and it's definitely a possibility, but there's something to do with like shadow stuff. And maybe that's the last thing that I'll kind of bring up, because I am getting that energy very strongly with the shadow stuff, because I'm getting the Five of Swords with this person and what's coming through with that. Because that's where I'm hearing the word karmic ? Like this person is in this like Five of Swords energy, which is really conniving and, very like trying to use a strength that they feel that they had. And I feel like that was maybe a test here, some kind of karmic test. So when they got some kind of call and they were like, oh great, my ex is broken up with, or like got out of some kind of relationship, great, because I need to jump over on their boat so that I look like I'm winning and I can show up to the gala with this person on my arm, and then everyone will think I'm successful and that I won the breakup and blah blah blah. Boo. That was a test. That was a test, because that was them getting into the wands suit where it's unsuitable. They needed to get into the water suit. So that's this person's shadow, because with the Five of Swords here, I feel like this person, it's like they're very adept in like the fire and the air. And like kind of put that together. But this person was like strategizing. And I think via that, like all their thinking, what it did is it forced an ending, and it got them into a position that they can't get out of. And I think even when this person's thinking about trying to apologize or come back to you, I think there's even a certain level. I just heard old habits die hard. There's a certain level of this like connivingness that's still there. So they have an intention to get back to you, which might feel on some level like justice, but it is, but there's still this part of them, this shadow that needs to be looked at of why am I so conniving? Like even trying to get back to you, I feel like there's a certain level of, or trying to have this conversation, whatever this is, because it feels like, again, they walked away. I'm sorry for walking away. That's the tender part of this person. Hey, I have empathy, small as it may be. And I understand that I hurt you and I'm sorry for that. And I want to be able to say that I'm sorry for that, but I have to put my armor on. And so that's where I strategize. And that's where this becomes karmic. And for some of you, I want to say that there could be a karmic actually involved in this situation on your side of things, some kind of friend or like third party here, that maybe this narrative fits almost entirely, but then it also fits for this like soulmate person. But it just fits as like part of them and you don't know which part to trust. And that's why this is such a volatile situation. So I think they want to sneak into this like emperor, empress role with you. So they might be saying, hey, I actually realize that that's my empress and I want to be the emperor, but this person's the 5 of swords. They're not the emperor. They're still using their connivingness and possibly trying to leverage some kind of strength that they have, which this person I think is very smart. And they understand power dynamics and they understand optics and things like that. So they're trying to push that into some kind of emperor empress thing. It could be for some of you that you've moved on. And if you have moved on from this, I feel like actually there's boon energy to that because I'm looking at a card here. It says luxury life. And the woman on this card is in the sun. She looks like she's laid back. She's by a pool. She's got a nice drink. She's got her earrings on. Comfortable wealth, indulgence, enjoys rewards because I deserve it. And right behind that is it says lessons learned, wisdom gained, completing cycles, growth through experience. I'm wiser now. So you went through this and I feel like this was kind of like a soul contract. I just picked that up. And then below it is ascension, spiritual growth, higher awareness, next level consciousness, elevating myself. Yeah. Because I think that you realized that there was something hidden here, that this person was secretly involved with someone else, or you wonder that, or maybe you felt like you were on the side here, or you just don't trust this person and you've like leveled up here. And now I think you also had to detach from this situation, but it's putting this person in this 5 of swords kind of energy. And that's because this person has shadow work to do. They have to acknowledge that there's something here that prevents this person from being vulnerable. And that's like, I think what it is. So what I'll say about this person's shadow, because like I said, I think there may have been a third party that kind of got between the two of you. I want to say like once before or in the beginning, and it feels like on your side of things. And I don't know how you feel about this third party. I don't think that you're interested in this third party more than you're interested in the soulmate person. But there's some kind of shadow trait that third party possessed or possesses that I think this person also possesses that they don't like, or that they... So our shadow traits are things that we kind of disavow in ourselves and we don't want to own. So I think for them, maybe there's a way that this third party is that they are also, or that they want to be, but they kind of deny it or they push it down. And so that third party being involved with you in whatever way maybe triggered this person in a certain way to look at their shadow, because they're like, they could have been like, oh, well, that person's not good enough for her. But they also have that same trait, maybe like being a cheater, or they knew that person was like in a relationship, or it could be something that they're like, that person's a sellout, or that person's like a, whatever, I don't know. But it feels like this person's shadow trait. Now, I think though that this person got off on the wrong exit and they're going down to be with some kind of karmic. We'll talk about the karmic on their side. But then I think that you're kind of healing and you are, there's some kind of person or situation that you're going to end up with that I feel like that's that emperor empress energy. And there's a shadow trait here for that person as well. Like I think they're also going to be triggered because this is like whoever you're with has some kind of trait that this person, your soulmate here, doesn't have, but maybe they wish they had, or it's some kind of trait that I'm almost getting like a high school vibe. Like when they were in high school, they thought that was like a loser, or that a certain kind of person, like, I don't know, somebody who's like maybe very smart or actually applies themselves to their studies. But then this person that you're going to end up with has like a degree in a science related field, and they're actually doing something really cool with their life, because there's something here with this person that I think you're going to end up with, or a situation that you're going to end up with where it's like, actually, that's really cool. Like it looks like actually really cool. And the coolest thing of all is that is the person who gets to be with their person, the person that they want to be with. So that's pretty cool. Like they're not a loser. They got the girl. kind of a thing. And so it's shadow stuff that this person's being forced to look at. And I feel like it's with these kind of two kind of points here. Maybe that's the same person, this like third party that you involve with. They kind of really grew into themselves in a certain way. And so maybe that's the shadow trait, is that they actually try. Because there's something here that prevents this person from just speaking like their truth, or being vulnerable, or trying, or applying themselves, or like embracing something that they think, I don't know, but they're like confronting it with it. Now on this person's side, I think there may well have been a third party that either they involved with when they were with you or something. And I think that may have to do with some kind of shadow material that you have, where maybe you, it seems like maybe just, it's like maybe something casual between the two of them, and you don't participate in that for some kind of reason, or, but you could. Okay, what it's coming across as, I think if you wanted to be destructive with your schmegsual energy, you absolutely could. You could ruin relationships. You could compete. Like with whoever this girl is, you could have slept with her husband or her man. You still could now. I just heard, like, it's that, it's just that you disavow it. But in a certain way, it's like, that is a kind of power that if you wanted to, you could pick it up. It's like a darksider power, like a Sith, but you could pick it up and you could use it and probably pop this person in the mouth, but you maybe choose to rise above it. But that's where these two kind of link up, that's one thing. And then whoever this person ends up with, and it may well be the same person. I feel like whoever this person ends up with in a karmic sense, it's like a two-facedness. It's this deep fake energy, which they levied at you, which they come off like maybe very casual. Cause I think this person would seek out something that looks like they can control it, or that it's casual, or that there's not expectations, but this is about to be extremely restrictive and extremely binding. And this person's going to be confronted with, oh, the appearance of this person isn't at all like the reality of this person, or the appearance of this situation is not at all like the reality of this situation. But I think that there's something about this person where they rest on their laurels in some way that you do not. Like, it could be, I think for some of you, it also might be like, okay, this person's really attractive and they use it in a way like to gain in the world. And I think for some of you, that's also a reflection of you, where you are also really attractive and like you're on this person's level, or, maybe your kind of attractiveness is different, but you are also like extremely attractive. I could just kind of feel like if you wanted to be more manipulative, you could. And I feel like that's reflected in this person's path. And, or something like that. Or if you're in the same field as this person or something, again, it's like they choose to rest on their laurels in a certain way and just really skate by on something. But I think you really apply yourself in some kind of way, or in some kind of other direction, or you put a lot more pressure on yourself, and maybe you don't need to, or something. I'm not sure. But yeah, so there's some shadow stuff that's being pulled up here as well. So this has already been a long reading, but that's who's coming through here. I do think, as far as you're concerned, something has played out. And I think that you are focused on your future, and you're focused on whatever this happiness is that you felt for yourself, because it's like you've healed, or you found some kind of peace, and you've moved on from this situation in whatever way you have. Then you are focused on, how can I sustain this for myself? How can I be happy? Or you're very much focused on like peace, happiness, health, healing, relaxation, those kinds of things. And I do feel that this person is not really in a healed energy. I think that they've just sort of started, because there's this part of them that wants to, well, be careful, because I think for some of you, this is a straight up karmic. But I think where the soulmate is concerned, this is still very much a part of them, where they have this like conniving, strategic power thing, and they need to integrate their shadow, is what I'm getting. They need to integrate their shadow. And that is their answer. That's their key. That's going to propel them forward on their own path. But yeah, because I think that they're understanding something that you were trying to say in the beginning. Maybe whatever this conversation or situation was that they walked away from, they're understanding that. It's like kind of come full circle. And it's like so strange, because it feels like it could have come full circle in like a 5-minute conversation. Like if this person had stayed, I just heard all you had to do was stay. Like if this person just stayed in the conversation and like allowed the two of you to emotionally hash things out, they would have understood it in like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or maybe even a couple of days, like when they were reflecting on it, because they would have had the information that they needed, and they would have also exposed themselves in their own vulnerability here in a certain way. And that would have been what you needed. And you could have cut out all of this stuff. But as I almost want to say, like years go by here, they're understanding your side of the story through their karmic path, and they're understanding the value of reciprocity. And that actually, had they leaned into a reciprocity with you, even though it seems like opposites attract in some kind of way here, and that might have thrown them for a loop as well. Why am I feeling this way about this person? They're so opposite from me. That would have led to some kind of unexpected outcome for this person. An unexpected outcome that actually would have been the genuine way of moving them away from some kind of turmoil. But it's not through bypassing. It's through genuine transcendence of actually confronting something. And that's what this relationship offers that no other relationship does, I just heard. There's something very special about this relationship and what can be found in the reciprocity between the two of you, possibly because of the history here in past lives. It's because of this scorpionic energy, because this can kind of click right into the bottom. And both of you can be, you have it in you to be very good faith actors with one another, but you have to choose that. And you have to, if you don't build up that muscle, you kind of lose it. And this person, I think so far has chosen to not build up that muscle, to not build up this kind of relationship muscle. And so there's a paradox, a beautiful paradox that's waiting for this person when they lean into emotional relationships and their vulnerability, not in this karmic situation that they're in. Okay. That's stupid. And it's just going to lead to carnage. And it is going to reinforce some terrible beliefs that this person has. But with you, you're this, maybe there's something opposite. You're like, maybe you're their opposite type, or you have some kind of opposite traits, but they're really attracted to you and they can't understand why, or because it feels emotional with you. And this person went running scared. And there is some kind of paradox here about what this unlocks for this person that they can't possibly fathom, because this person doesn't really understand water, like the watery element. And this person may well be gifted in these arenas, like with empathy and emotions. And and that might be part of their path to success, but also like they might well get what they wanted and they tried to manufacture for themselves. Like they wanted some kind of victory. They wanted to be seen in a certain way. So that may well be, that's their path to doing that, but they have to start understanding emotions and stuff like that. Maybe advocating for other men to like become more emotional and kind of clearing up what a negative culture that they've fed. But yeah, I think now that this person's in this karmic situation, it might well take a lot for them to stop. There could be magic involved, just saying. But they are now in the position that you have been in past lives for sure, and possibly in this one, in this unbreakable energy, inner toughness, enduring hardship, strength through adversity, and nothing can break me. And yeah, the devil card is right under that. So that's a karmic relationship. And it's because some part of them is asleep. In order to be in this relationship, it's like they're asleep at the wheel. Maybe there's drugs involved in this. They're asleep. They're asleep to like their emotional self. And this will be some kind of lesson learned. But yeah. Okay. So this was a long one. That's what I have for you. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye guys.